comes to the main prize, but they still have their shot at third place here. Ole Miss comes up a little bit short to West Virginia, but they'll have their chance again to play Maryville. The first time around, they were able to take it. TJ, welcome back with us. Glad to have you back.
Of course, it's a pleasure to be here. 12 teams have entered Myrtle Beach to fight for the $5,000 prize pool, but one of these teams in this next match will walk away empty-handed. It is the third place match here with Maryville and Ole Miss, both teams fighting strongly throughout this entire bracket, but now you have one life, one more game, one more series between you and $500.
It's time to forget about what happened in the semifinals. They want to make sure that they hit the ground running here, and for me, Ole Miss perfect until that moment, and how close it was. How they established the lead in that semifinals, it just got away from them, but that does not mean that they're going to hang their heads about it. They're going to jump back in and get things going. Maryville has looked pretty vulnerable here, to be honest, and so I'd love to see them come out, maybe give them a run for their money, as we know they're capable of.
Yeah, Ole Miss, you're right, has looked impenetrable all day. They've been leading on every offensive stat imaginable, and then there, when it matters most, they can't find the last goal. But Maryville having plenty of issues of their own, having to take a forfeit in their own groups, but still managing to make it to this stage, and now Ole Miss is all that's left between them.
That's it. It's a big obstacle to get to from where you were to where you're going. But right now, we're going to crank things up. 5 minutes on the clock. Third place match begins right now.
Boost on the beach, 24, ready to give everybody here at the Hangout just a little more. And now we'll see a shot go right side, and it was almost open, but not open enough.
Oh, they had the opportunity right off the bat. Ole Miss going to try to match that energy. They're fresh off of the last series with West Virginia's shot taken as well. What a good answer there from the defense of Maryville.
Of course, what more would you expect from Ole Miss? The shots will already be piling on, but don't count out Maryville, as that one will bounce just barely off the crossbar. Now, Ole Miss looking for a counter. It's Lunar, not normally the passer, but playing his role.
And Maryville right back down. Look at the transition speed from this team. Couldn't find that double touch, but the follow-up is there. But Stealth makes a big save here. And man, oh man, the pace is absolutely lit here for a third place match.
If you aren't familiar, you would think this is an RLCS match. Both these teams, all 6 players, so insanely talented, performing plays almost like what Knight's gonna do. And that's something that we'll get used to very quickly.
Oh yeah, man, Knight's ready to chip this one forward as well. And Buddy will chase, but a good touch away as Stealth was ready for it too, but only got as far as center field. Here is Animal to try to direct it back in. C-Money stands in the way. C-Money has been the facilitator of every play that Ole Miss has run. The assist count on him has got to be past 50 at this point. He's been excellent in setting up his teammates.
He's been the rock of this team. He sits in the dead center, and honestly, I think that's where the difference comes from, is you look at Buddy at the center of Maryville, facilitating, enabling, and that's exactly what C-Money does, but both their mechanical abilities still just as insane and still trying to find the back of the net.
You know, typically in this situation, in a third place game in a best of 5, you'd say, oh, game 1, a filling out process. No, these two teams know each other incredibly well. That's why they're out to this pace already. And look, Stealth looking at an open net, he missed it. You don't see that too often.
Stealth, maybe off that last series, losing that tough game 5, maybe it's got them just out of their rhythm, but so far still standing strong on defense. That touch goes a little further out than Stealth would have liked, and now it's a fake challenge from Knight. He might accidentally pass this to a player. Wide open net, dead center. Lunar makes it 1-0.
Well, if they were lingering on that mistake in game 5 against West Virginia, no more. Oh, Knight was trying to find the teammate there across the middle. If you're gonna try that play, you have to be 100% confident, otherwise you'll see that play blow up like we did.
It's got to be higher in the air, it's got to be to a teammate, and nothing will happen but Maryville. It doesn't matter. 1-1.
That's crazy. All right, a quick answer is what you need. Yes, sure, you had a mistake. Talk about brushing off the shoulders like we saw from Ole Miss. A quick answer from Maryville is exactly what the doctor ordered.
And Adam does such a good job of playing that second man role, cheating up on kickoff there, but also this entire tournament, he has filled the gaps where Buddy is defending and enabling, and where Knight is just simply being himself, but Lunar doing his best impression like he's been doing all weekend.
Maryville definitely woke up there, and now look as they take C-Money off the pitch. Adam will have room to work with here. Trying to use that back wall, but unfortunately he pinched it, so 20 too hard. So we'll crash into the box here when Lunar tries to settle the right on, and an extra touch as well. And Stealth, luckily, he was bent on the backtrack. Otherwise, that was pretty free.
Stealth, a dominance player, and it comes to advantage on defense, where it's just that flat panel you can use to make something happen.
Whoa.
As Lunar gets over two with a flip reset, but it won't be there just yet.
Oh, but still trying for it. C-Money going to crash in as well. But by the time he's able to, a good challenge there from Maryville to try and settle in. And finally, the pace just a little bit slower. I mean, it's still end-to-end, but a lot more coordinated than we saw in the first couple minutes.
And so far now we're finally starting to fall into that rhythm. The nerves may be starting to settle down. These players are used to these bright lights, these big moments, but we're right back where we were at the beginning of this game. Who's going to take the lead once again?
This one just kind of left there from Ole Miss. Adam was able to beat everybody too. Flips reset, shot taken. But Lunar was wise here. The shot didn't quite get the velocity he was looking for.
These players can score from anywhere. You cannot give them even a sliver of open space, and both teams are trying to show the other. Now Lunar, he's a dangerous man in the air, and an even more dangerous man with a flip reset. Pass three, shot goes top side, big save, third shot comes in, another big save, a first shot, bang, 2-1.
Absolutely relentless was the Ole Miss offense here. C-Money was trying to put it to bed, and when Stealth came in, I mean, that was just enough to take Maryville out of the play, and Ole Miss will recapture that lead here late in game number 1.
This is what you expect out of Ole Miss. You expect them to be aggressive. You expect it to come down. No matter how many shots, it will find the back of the net. It's just a matter of when, and well, we have our answer.
And Lunar's got space. He'll pop this one high. It's well over the net, but they'll try to relax into it. He's just going to leave it for a teammate here. Good coordination finally from the Maryville defense, as they were uncoordinated from the Ole Miss onslaught that we saw just a moment ago. Now with a minute left, C-Money trying to control this one. He's got to go to the front of his car. Knight eventually able to challenge here. Lunar pops it high, but not past 3. Adam able to get back in defense.
Stealth back flipping. He sees that Knight is coming with full boost and a flip reset, but now Knight quickly runs out, and now they're going to try and find each other middle, but now Lunar's got to watch his back. He's got a player on. He's got to go wall quick. Does. Backboard. Double. Middle. Another one trying to pinch it there, but it won't go.
The way that Lunar's able to focus in on a play is absolutely unmatched. It's unparalleled. Try to chip and find a teammate out in front, none to be found, and it falls all the way back to the Ole Miss ends, and they're just content to kill some time here in this game 1 with just 23 seconds left. They're playing a bit of keep away from Maryville, and they're going to have to find a way to start the wrenches, but there's just no way out.
And Ole Miss was in the reverse of this last game. In West Virginia, they normally had the lead, and then it was up to Ole Miss to find a last-second goal, but now this pressure is it's just relentless, and there's nothing you can do about it. But now Maryville looking for a counter. They get just enough room to maybe get something going, but Lunar gonna make sure that that's not the case. Now just needs to hit the ground, or maybe find an extra shot. It's dead center. Ball stays up. 3 members of Maryville with boost, and a dream to find this tying goal. Goes middle, Buddy off the corner. Player not gonna find it, and Ole Miss takes game 1.
Ole Miss able to just hold off this team. They were striking back, though, and Ole Miss did just enough to create enough chaos in their offensive zone to not allow Maryville to transition back, because you felt it at that 0-second mark, TJ. They were coming hot. You keep them alive, you keep them away, you get the 1-0 lead, you establish it here, and it doesn't seem like much in a best-of-5 to win game 1 sometimes, but let me tell you, in this situation, when we have the talent that we have here today, that is huge.
And also with the best-of-5, that talent, there's no skill gaps. Everyone is so incredibly close, and that first game is so important because the only difference between these teams is mental and momentum.
Yeah, 100%. And listen, momentum should not be on the side of Ole Miss after that tough loss in game number 5, but here they are standing strong and getting that first win on the board. Maryville has had a very crowded weekend, a bit of a mental fortitude that they needed to show in the many situations that presented themselves this weekend, and yet, we see them still hanging around. It wasn't their best semifinals performance at all. They were 3-0'd, but they're still hanging close with Ole Miss. Now Ole Miss trying to strike back here in this game number 2.
And of course, some teams after losing a series like that, maybe they'll put out, but both these teams have still so much money to play for and so much talent as Lunar's gonna try and go middle. Stealth gonna get a chance to dribble, has enough boost to maybe get a flip reset, gets 1 touch instead, and there's 2 Ole Miss attackers crashing, but nothing will land.
I like the idea from Lunar there to try to jump out and get that bump and demo right in front of the net. That'll create all sorts of space, but he jumped out a little bit too late, so he wasn't allowed the chance to create what we was looking for. But this time he is on it. Challenge from C-Money comes a little bit late as well. That'll allow Maryville to at least march out this center, but look as they direct it right back in. And anytime C-Money touches the ball, you better be looking for a passing play because he's been the menace in that sense.
He has indeed been a menace. Menace might be an understatement, but every player looking for bumps and demos, trying to free up an opportunity. That's Adam with a double kill, but Lunar gonna stall enough time, and Buddy maybe should have shot that on net. Will do this time, and now ball rolls in the middle. That's Adam off the sidewall, looking for a read. Not gonna find it, teammate won't find it either.
Oh, Adam had that read too, but Knight's still there. Shot taken, and they get to it. Distracted the defense just enough, and Knight will put that in. Maryville's got this 1-0 lead.
Similar to Ole Miss game-winning goal of game one, it just was too many shots. All three players from Maryville in the Ole Miss net making bumps or just trying to create any sort of space they can, and though those margins were so slim, they still find the goal.
Now Stealth looking for that answer. He's got the flip reset in hand, but it will be matched by Maryville. We'll try to march forward towards the offensive side. There's a good shot opportunity, but it was off the mark. Stealth wasn't taking any chances, still got up to get that touch because it's so open the other way, but now you see Knights as he challenges here, but C-Money up for the task to at least get it out to the corner.
And now Maryville looking strong once again. They're building more and more pressure in the Ole Miss half, and Ole Miss trying to find some of these midfield 50, these midfield bumps, but nothing landing, including that one right there. But now the pressure slowly starting to build. Maryville on the counter attack, looking for a pass, will not find one. Now Lunar gonna try and use the corner to his advantage, but somebody's there to read it.
Always seems to be like there's somebody there. I mean, their rotation's so clean defensively. It feels like instead of 3 players per team, you got 4 or 5 because just the communication and patterns they're able to utilize here. But in a dangerous and sticky situation, Maryville did a good job to handle it to get out, and now Adam with the redirect the other way, but Stealth was up in a hurry in order to fight that one off.
It is so close for Maryville. We have yet to see an Ole Miss attack in a hot minute, but this might be the one. C-Money, not enough boost to get to it though, fakes out one, shot goes middle, 2 defenders from Maryville. That's what it takes to stop the attack, and now Ole Miss just looking to find any sort of momentum as we're halfway through this game.
Buddy, space to work with. He'll flip is directly into the hands of Knight. Great pass. He'll leave it again for the give and go. But it was not executed the way they wanted to. Now we're ticking down to 2 minutes left. Maryville's turn to maybe run some clock here, DJ, because right now goals are coming at a premium.
I mean, running clock is not something that these teams love to do. These teams love to score, and they love to keep the pressure, and that's what it takes, because if you give Ole Miss time, if you play more defense, they're going to win the 1v1s, they're going to win the 1v2s. Lunar has won a 1v3 literally just 30 minutes ago, and so that talent's still there as now Ole Miss trying to pinch it in the midfield. Not going to find it, though. Stealth up quickly. Maybe a missed touch from him, but his teammates there to follow.
Back down to it. And ready for it, Adam already up, flip reset once, we'll get it past Stealth, and now another extra touch off the crossbar, still lingers there for what feels like a lifetime, and the third shot was off the mark, a perfect opportunity for Maryville, and they fumbled it.
It is not Grand Champion, fans. It is Grand Plat. These players struggling to find that last touch that they need, but now Maryville looking to get it once again. Stealth is backwards trying to get this one, and now with a minute left, Ole Miss's chances are still slowly slipping away.
And forward again. It seems like Ole Miss is always on the retreat and trying to make these big saves, as Stealth was able to do right there. Still plenty of time, like you mentioned. It's just under a minute left. But Maryville continues to find ways down the pitch. Here's Adam again, flip reset in order to use it as a 50 against Lunar. Those little details matter, and they're doing a great job to do just that.
And those little details are the exact reason that might lead to a goal. What a save from C-Money, cashing out the ATM. Now Stealth looking for a bump, not gonna find it. His teammate gets bumped instead. Ball sitting in the corner, sits middle for Adam, using the ceiling, 60 boost, a flip reset, not gonna use it though. Maryville, 20 more seconds between tying this series up.
Buddy was trying to use the back wall to get the defense to be a little bit awkward there, but instead just dribbled it right to where Lunar was waiting for it. C-Money a little bit too far back, challenge there, but somehow was able to rotate around. Down to 10 seconds left. Need to transition here, but Adam is just gonna kill time. There was nothing Lunar can do without boost. One more opportunity here, and it's up high, it's off the ground, but it's gonna be killed by Knight. Oh, it does hit the ground. Maryville able to answer back, and they equalize the series at 1.
So close there from Lunar. That would have been a golden counterattack with boost and the ability where he was already facing the right way, but unfortunately, he just can't get there, and now we even things up.
Are we sure this isn't the finals? Because it certainly feels like it here. The vibes, the pace, the energy with these two teams. And I get it, man. There's $500 on the line. Of course these players are going to be after it the way that they are. And right now, there's not a single person on this field that is not contributing in a certain way. This is just a keen, awesome Rocket League.
Of course, and the fans back at home know this. And though there may not be CRL, Collegiate Rocket League is still as alive as ever. And it's the talent of these players and the tournaments like this, like Boost on the Beach 24, giving them the spotlight to give us entertainment.
The team that wins here will go to match point as what's on the line for these two teams in this game number 3. So Adam will carry only as far as Lunar. The read was instant, and right there, the stealth, and they're able to age it. Far side post, the perfect placement to give Ole Miss the 1-0 lead.
Stealth shoots this from the right side, but puts it just perfectly in that left corner. The perfect spot to where Maryville couldn't save it. And just like that, it took 16 seconds.
And an 8-ball corner pocket. What they needed here to answer back any single time any team gets any kind of momentum. They're at that level of talent where they can answer right back when they need to. Adam trying to direct it away from the last member of Ole Miss. Buddy looking to follow this too, but Lunar, the whole hang on that back wall here, now challenging Stealth pretty quickly, but so is Knight as he's able to tap it back down. Look at the 1-2-3, but C-Money up in time to make a big save.
The third man is such a controversial role in high-level Rocket League. Every team debates, should they be offensive? Should they be defensive? And right now, Maryville is choosing the offensive route. They are so close to finding this margin! Buddy, on your head, Ole Miss!
This was insane. Check it out, buddy. Was set up by Knight. A quick pop up, and then the read off his Stealth. It takes talent to get a double touch. It takes even more talent to read your opponent's mind and get the dunk the way he did just there.
Yeah, they are in there rent-free right now. A massive goal and all of this, and it's just been 1 minute. Still 4 minutes of Rocket League left to be played in Game 3, and that's a demo that forces Lunar to jump, and C-Money trades one back. Now Lunar can't find the counter. Knight with 12 boosts just got to try and make Ole Miss think that he's dangerous.
Whoa!
Oh, it's a musty to a teammate. Buddy gets his second, but what a pass.
That does not happen unless Knight, with low boost, by the way, gets the musty right there to set it up in front, and Buddy does the rest. Crashes at the right time. Maryville taking this lead with a purpose.
Incredible is the word. I mean, you can say 1,000 words, but incredible is a great one to describe the talents of these players. We know what they're capable of. We know that they can do everything well, but it's so hard to find the right moment, to pull the right mechanic, and to do the right move, like Buddy with a flip reset, dunking one, keeping the Maryville pressure high after that second goal, and almost a third.
And Stealth again just reads the plays so well. Otherwise, you don't make that save. The anticipation off the charts. Now Stealth with that flip reset, and that was all to buy time. You saw Lunar jumping out in front to create more space, but it wasn't to be as they were able to challenge just in time. And Maryville will be able to get it out with a couple of extra touches here. Now looking for that second one to play it into the corner. It lingers there until Stealth's able to jump on it yet again. He'll find C-Money and be able to clear the zone and relieve some of the pressure that Maryville was coming for them with. This will linger the other way too. But eventually touchdown by Adam, and now it's a surgical game of chess that we're seeing back and forth.
Lunar almost playing an entirely different game than his two teammates. He's just playing the demo role. He's got a UAV right now if you want to get technical, and his two teammates doing a great job of winning the mismatch. That way they can maybe find Lunar downfield, but still, the Maryville defense stays strong. These extra slight touches might give them an opportunity. Stealth can't get it. It's a brief flip from C-Money to keep their chances alive.
Maryville has found the Achilles heel, which is that far left side post where the rotations of Ole Miss tend to favor the other side, and it's been a couple times where, well, at least once they've been able to capitalize on it. Looking to do that again because cushion goal would feel pretty good at this point. Right now, this 2-1 lead is so dangerous, especially when you know the striking ability of Ole Miss.
And not many teams can say they've gotten the major lead on Ole Miss. I believe Ole Miss's head-to-head record against every school here is positive, and they've continued to contribute to that. But now Maryville looking for their get-back, looking for the corner, open net, dead center 3-1.
Oh, it's theirs for the taking. Usually it's the Land Sharks that smell blood, but right now it's Maryville that's finding ways around it. That back wall, and nobody was was there at all. Stealth was anticipating Ole Miss to be transitioning back on the offensive side, but instead he looked back in his rearview mirror and saw the ball in his own net.
And it's a tale as old as time. Buddy gets the pass tonight, but now Ole Miss finds an open net. Stealth just has to simply touch it one more time, and it's going to be 3-2.
Drawn up kickoff play, and they did enough to distract. And by the time Buddy got to it, it was a smoke screen of sorts where you couldn't quite read where your opponent's going with it. His anticipation has been great, but it's hard to do that when you can't see the ball.
And now we find ourselves one goal from maybe forcing an overtime. We obviously would love the chaos, but we got a long time to get there. 90 seconds between us and the end of this one still.
Ole Miss lingering. Lunar will push Buddy out of the way, trying to bully him a little bit so he can get out this center, but Knight was not having it. Look at this challenge right off the bat. The waterfall down. No, Knight, what happened? Not like this.
Knight has a chance to find the dagger, but unfortunately he fumbles it in his own hands, and now the ball sits middle. Stealth looking for backboard, but Knight's got just enough to delay. But Lunar up again. Big 52 members from Maryville now trying to start the counterattack, but C-Money having none of it. Trying to go middle. That's two players beat. It's a fake, but nobody's there to follow.
Oh man, these mishaps from Maryville. Remember that. If Ole Miss is able to tie this up, and let me tell you, they're able to, but can they? Oh, Buddy does get the cushion eventually. It took them multiple chances, okay, TJ, but eventually they do break through.
And that's Buddy with his third off an incredible pass, and right there, Lunar just barely off that ball, and he just can't get the touch needed.
Not quite. There's still time. I don't care what we're looking at. 2-goal lead, that's fine with me. For Ole Miss, they're able to capture multiple goals. We saw it from Stealth in his quarterfinal matchup where he had 10 goals in 2 games. They can put up goals in bunches. This one's not over, mark my words.
Yeah, well, Maryville trying to make sure that you do not mark those words. They're playing great defense, as we just saw Knight get a Savior medal, and I'm sure everybody on this team has one at this point, and they're doing such a good job against the team, averaging the most shots a game and having the most shots total, and gonna get a save there as well.
A huge one, because now you've got the momentum rolling in your favor. C-Money finds Stealth, leaves it as a fake. Lunar can't get around it, tried that second touch, it's still there. It lingered for a minute, but it's all the way past midfield, and time is ticking out. They needed that chance there. They're not gonna get it. One opportunity. If they can score here, they might have a second, but it's shut down. It'll be Maryville that will go to match point after this hard-fought battle, and it wasn't pretty. It wasn't clean, to be honest, but listen, you kind of work things in your direction so that way you can get to match point and play on from here.
And Maryville with 2 massive games now in a row, so momentum really starting to build now, as now the players just kind of messing around, but now we finally see the ball hit the ground, and Maryville looking like they are steering the ship.
Certainly are, and we haven't said that all weekend long. There's never been a time where we're like, listen, this is going to be the team that controls it. Except for the pre-rankings, when we said Maryville, we know they're this team, but when they're struggling a little bit, TJ, as far as the group's standings go, with all the circumstances surrounding not being able to show up for one of the matches here in the weekends, like that can still linger a little bit in your brain. But I think now we're finally seeing the true undistracted Maryville that can get the job done.
And that undistracted Maryville is distracting Ole Miss, as now Ole Miss calls their first and only timeout of this series. It is a best of 5, but teams are allowed a timeout given the nature of this tournament. But I mean, speaking of the nature of things, what a wonderful place we're at here at the Hangout in Myrtle Beach.
It's been nothing but incredible vibes, number one. So we love everybody here in this arena who's made this possible, whether it be Shenandoah Esports, Syracuse Esports, and of course the lovely staff here in Myrtle Beach at the Hangout. They've been nothing but awesome to us, CJ, and you love to see it.
Of course, and the games have been just as nice to us as well. I mean, we've had content after content for both days now. We've had Game 3s, Game 5s, and we may see a Game 7 later. I don't want to jinx it or anything. I would hope so. But this series has potential to go to 5 for sure.
No, it certainly does, and the fight over $500 continues. If you're just joining us, that is the mark here. This is the 3rd place match. No, you're not watching the finals. I get it. These are 2 teams that were definitely could have been destined for the finals, and the way that they're playing their hearts out is definitely not gone unnoticed by every single one of the experts here around the collegiate scene, by us. I mean, this has been a great series off the bat, and Maryville has a chance to end it in 4.
And it's crazy to see Maryville's comeback here because Ole Miss and Maryville played each other in round 1 of their Group B match. And it went to 3, but it was fairly confidently Ole Miss before.
It was before. Can they get back to it? I mean, we said that maybe Ole Miss had put it out of their brains as far as what happened to them in the last series. But have they really? Have they really? They were able to take a game off of Maryville. I get it. It's a very strong team. But you've had all the momentum coming through. And Lunar and C-Money said, we don't lose lands. So right now, you've got a chance to get in the money. Otherwise, going home with nothing. It's do or die time here on this one. It's all about what they're talking about with their timeouts. TJ, what are you discussing? If you're the coach here and you're saying, Ole Miss, we got to get it together, what are some talking points here? Maybe 1 or 2 here.
I mean, from what I've seen and given the experience I've done with lands that I've played in the past, it feels like that Ole Miss just need to find that synchronous ability that they've shown all weekend once again. So they got to listen to each other a little more, trust the comms a little bit, but most importantly, bring the nerves down. You got to treat this like a normal game. You got to see the vision through the smoke that is a land, and you got to find those goals in the process.
Well, it's up to your leaders to kind of calm the troops down, especially when you have those players that are hyper energetic like what we have with Ole Miss. You're absolutely right. Can they calm the nerves? Can they gain the ice, if you will, and be able to get back into this one? Maryville, their chance to close out and earn their 3rd place. But Ole Miss, a chance to stay alive.
And Maryville already starting to build pressure, but then just like that, another rip downfield from Ole Miss. So the pressure already starting to switch. Ole Miss, that's what you want. You need that number of possession, that number of field domination. It needs to be closer to 50-50, whereas this series, it's felt more like 60-40.
Buddy's got an opportunity here. Looking at a wide open net. All right, we're just going to dribble this one in. Maryville left with a present here on the doorstep.
And I'm not sure what happened here, Ice. Actually, no, I do see. That's a demo from Knight. That gives Buddy just a wide open lane. Stealth wasn't back in time, and Maryville will walk it in.
I mean, you see demo plays all the time. You would expect, an opportunity for them to cross the goal line and make a save and support, but it looks like they're transitioning offense. Another free goal. Very uncharacteristic from what we've seen in this 3rd place match, but DJ, it's just a couple of basically open nets here as Lunar was looking at a freebie.
If you want to know what it means to play on land, I think both those goals are a great representation. The nerves will cause you to play worse, but then from there, it's what are you going to do in those weird gaps? Are you going to react quick enough? Are you going to be able to step up when it matters? And so far, pretty goofy goals per se, but I'm sure the mechanics are coming back soon.
Lunar had an incredible pre-jump read there. Now you got to look out the other way, though. Stealth did a great job to really retreat in the right angle. Look at that reaction time from Lunar as a bounce almost just made its way back towards the Ole Miss net.
And it was so close, like this shot as well. Buddy will continue his scoring spree. That's 5 in a row for him.
Buddy up so quickly, using the ceiling, the meta, if you will. And Lunar, although you try and read it, you think it's going front and center, they're able to utilize the left side of the net and place it perfectly behind Lunar. No shot at defense, and a 2-1 lead for Maryville.
And every other team has had fairly low-scoring games, but Ole Miss, they're wanting the shootout. The defense might not be that important. Maybe for them, it's about what can you do in return offensively. And right now, this 2v1 is a great look, but that's a great save from Adam.
C-Money right back at you. Trying to get to the corner here. Lunar a little bit distracted with that Timo, but was able to get up in time, and now they'll have numbers. As until Buddy was able to jump on it here. This will be a floater. Looks harmless, but Lunar took a little bit too long to get back up to it. For comfort, it's back in the box. Oh, it came out of the net trying to get a touch. Now trying to follow up on that 2 prime opportunity. Knight got it. 3-1 Maryville.
Knight, it is absolutely gross that honestly the people at the hangout here might not be able to eat their food after this one. A major flick from him, top side to get a 2-goal lead.
Oh man. I'd be able to eat just because the hangout food is great, but I get your point, I get your notion. Incredible play by Knight, who has always been noted to be that player that can take over games. And right now, Maryville's looking for just that. That is enough to put them in the money. They're able to close out this next 3 minutes and 18 seconds, and it's looking more and more likely, especially when they're leaving things on the table. Ole Miss is 4-1 now for Maryville.
And now Ole Miss is slowly being pushed to their breaking point. You have 3 minutes left and 3 goals. And normally as a caster and with production, we like to say that you would like a minute to score. But against this Maryville defense, you got to find one arguably quicker.
One every minute would tie it. I'm not convinced that they can do it at this point. Maryville's looked so much stronger than we've seen all weekend long. Very interesting time to peak, but listen, it'll put you in the money if you can close out. So carried out, but only as far as Lunar. Now he's going to try and jump too, but the defense here from Adam on Maryville.
And it's a difference of X factors right now. Lunar and, sorry, I almost said Stealth. Lunar and Knight, both players just doing incredibly well, but Knight is the one who's finding goals. Lunar finding opportunities, but can't find the back of the net. And he's got to be the one to help lead this comeback. And C-Money was going to take his stab at it, but he gets demoed. Now Stealth, a flip reset over 2, but not over 3.
That was crafty because you have to land the flip reset number 1 to go underneath the player, and then you have to jump on it from there. But now they left themselves wide open yet again. Maryville not able to find it this time. But they don't have to find any more goals right now at this 4-1 lead. It's just trying to dribble it out to midfield. A couple touches will accomplish that. C-Money trying to direct it here, but every chance they get, trying to get past midfield has an answer from Maryville.
And since the last Maryville goal, it's been a full minute now, and Ole Miss hasn't found anything, and that right there is a golden opportunity to do so. C-Money's pinch, that pass just a little too hard, but now he's going to get a chance to maybe find another. Will go middle, but Lunar pushes it high.
And oh man, and here's Adam to Buddy. He'll follow in as well. They grab boost in the process, and Adam just strong arms. At this point, he's hit the gym. He's got the weights going, and Buddy set him up 5-1.
And now there's almost a minute 30 left, and there's 4 goals to make up. Now, Rocket League is a fast game, so anything can happen, but at this level, it gets slimmer and slimmer possibilities.
Yeah, I've been saying that so many times this series, CJ. It's like, Ole Miss can score goals in bunches. Well, where is it? We haven't seen it. Just hasn't been able to get the right calculations, the right bounces, the right feels, and be able to finish those chances like you said. Lunar's going to need to step up and be that leader. Otherwise, time is ticking down incredibly fast.
And of course, this is after Ole Miss's timeout as well. So tactics and strategies and also just a general breather were all called on to get them back in a state where they can get back to scoring in bunches. But so far, it doesn't look that way. Adam double touch, second man on, not going to find the net though, and Maryville looking for another dagger.
Hey, why not? You're at 5-1. Let's go ahead and clip on him as well. But Ole Miss is at least able to get away from that aspect in Nightmare. But the Nightmare continues because you're down to 1 minute left. You're about to go home empty-handed.
And now Stealth trying to get something going. You have a minute left and 4 goals. Every second starts to feel shorter and shorter as now they look middle, but nobody's there. Maryville looking for their 6th, and they get a bump, but not a goal.
And they continue what seems to be a victory lap at this point. Ole Miss need to score. They need to score quick. C-Money, the shot will go high, and it's already answered by Adam by the time it even gets to the back wall. And he's going to play it high around their back wall as well. Sets up a pass, and just going to kill more time as they go back and forth. We're under 30 seconds, and yet another opportunity shut down again.
And that's a great double touch. Ole Miss starting to get more mechanical towards the end of this game, but it's just too little too late as now that net is open, and hey, things technically are possible still.
Yeah, it's still possible. And that, you know, those bounces, the pinball action that we saw here. Lunar the tap down, it was anticipated as a pass. I guess it was tonight as they tap it in. Now you're talking about a goal every 3 seconds, and TJ, if they do it, I would absolutely jump off the stage.
I mean, we'd love to see it, and maybe C-Money can kick it off, maybe looking middle. It'll be a fake jump from Lunar to Stealth, top side. What a save, though, just when we thought it was possible. That's a huge denial. The dagger is ripped out the sheath and stabbed into the Sharks' hearts. Maryville is your 3rd place $500 winners here at Boost on the Beach.
Man, they dug deep. They talked about it. It was coordinated, and they didn't let themselves get cold either, because it was Ole Miss that came into this match fresh off of a series that they played. And yet, TJ, what we saw was a whole different team coming in from Maryville than we saw all weekend long. It's because they put in that preparation. It's because they talked between games. It was very evident, and we saw a win because of it. And now they'll be walking home, like you mentioned, with that $500.